Let's set up my Hobonichi Cousin for the month of May. Hi friends, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Tori and today I am setting up the month of May in my Hobonichi Cousin. I am starting off with just filling in my habits, well not necessarily habits, but my hobbies that I want to kind of keep track of this month to see how often I am actually doing them and participating in a hobby that really makes me feel fulfilled. For this month, I will be keeping track of how often I crochet, how often I walk, read, journal, how often I upload a video to YouTube, and then how often I color and how often I sew. I do have less habits or hobbies on here than I have in previous months because I found that there was just some that I wasn't really doing like at all. And I wanted to really focus on the ones that I was currently into actually participating in, or the ones like crocheting where I have active projects that I just have not touched in a while. So I am keeping that one on there. I am happy to say I did crochet a little bit yesterday, so I did get to at least mark one day off so far for the month of May. For all of my decorations that I will be using for the setup this month, 90% of them are actually just freebie items that I received from an Etsy shop, Serene Pages, and I will have that shop linked down below. She includes like an envelope of just freebies in both of the orders that I have purchased from her. This washi tape that I am placing down now was included in that freebie pack. I really liked it because it has triangles on it, and triangles are one of my favorite shapes. And then there was a nice like teal color on that triangle as well. So I am going to end up using that throughout the setup, and I am using it right now to just fill in the bottom spaces of my monthly. My monthly, unfortunately, because I did a little bit less on here than I did the rest of the pages, it doesn't really match as well as some of the other pages do together, but I think in the end it all looks fine. I will actually flip through the pages that I finished in this video at the end if you want to kind of see how everything looks in like a flip through type format. You can see the pages essentially back to back. There was a couple pieces of PET coffee cups that I am placing on this calendar page. There was only 2 coffee cups included, and I think maybe that's why this page just feels a little bit different than the other ones, because there's no coffee cups or anything like that on the other pages that I've decorated with this setup. So that's probably where like the difference is coming from for me. I really did like this coffee PET tape, and I'm kind of curious to go back to her shop and see if I can find it to buy it because I really like these images. I am then going to pull out one of the papers that's included, just a regular like paper, and I'm going to rip that up, I believe, and add it to some of the other days that are not a part of this month. So normally when I decorate my monthly pages, the days of the month that aren't actually in this month, so like the 1st of June and then the 28th to the 30th of April, I'm usually placing my decoration for the month in those spots since I technically don't really need them for anything. So it's a perfect place for me to decorate. So you see I just ripped off a corner piece of a paper there and placed it at the top. And then I'm going to overlay some of that washi onto it as well. I will say, as much as I did like the washi, it did not stick very well. And I did end up having to tape some of the washi like down to get it to stay because it was causing my pages to stick together. Again, this was a freebie, so it's not like I paid for it, but that was a slight like grievance that I had with that particular washi tape. we have flipped over to my May kind of cover page here, and you can see that at this time that I was setting up my May spread, I did actually start doing my journaling for May 1st, and I will talk about that a little bit because I didn't realize until I actually sat down to edit this video that the blue that's on the washi tape actually matches almost perfectly with the ink swatch that I have on that May 1st page where I was doing my journaling. Essentially, what happened was that I ordered a ink from Amarillo and I got it in on May 1st. So I ripped the stickers off the box, and then I ink swatched some of the ink in my journal because I just thought it was so pretty. And I tried doing that like ink swatching technique where you see people on the internet and they just kind of like scribble like random circles through the ink swatch. So that's what I did. And I could see why people like to do that because it looks so neat. So I did that over here, and I stuck down one of my ink bottle stickers and a star rating sticker, and then just kind of wrote the name of the ink. This is, again, Amarillo ink, and it is called Teal Waistband, and I am obsessed with it. It's so pretty. So I just thought it would fit really nicely with how I ended up decorating the May cover spread because I didn't even realize that the washi kind of correlated and matched with that ink swatch that I did. So that was a pleasant surprise when I sat down and was rewatching this video to start doing editing. For my cover spread or cover page for May, I am just throwing a lot of things down. I had absolutely no plan. I just picked up a bunch of papers, started ripping them and laying things down, and I am just going to keep adding things until I feel like I'm satisfied. The stickers that I'm adding now are little stickers that I actually made. This is my like wonky bubble letter handwriting. So I actually turned this into a little sticker sheet so that I could use them as stickers in my Hobonichi. And then I also had some pre-cut up PET tape to the side. This is tape that I cut up myself. And I had it sitting in the corner of my desk, and I thought that it would look perfect with the way that I was decorating this cover page so far. And it just so happens that this PET tape actually also came from Serene Pages on Etsy. And like I said, I will have that shop linked down below if you are interested in checking it out. It's just a bunch of like random stationery supplies. I don't believe that the shop owner makes anything, but she's one of those like shops that kind of like finds the stationery and then like resells it. So I'm not really sure where the stationery is from, but that is where I purchased it. I am just loving the way that this cover page is turning out. I am really utilizing a lot of these cut PET tapes that I had from the collection that I purchased from Serene Pages previously. I actually sat down one day and just cut out a bunch of the PET tape so that I could use it whenever I felt like it. And I had a bunch of like really small pieces, so like the butterfly and these circles that I'm putting down now. And I thought that they fit this cover spread perfectly. Like, I was pretty impressed with how this turned out because about halfway through, I was really unsure that I even liked it, which isn't uncommon for me, honestly. So I was glad that I did end up really liking it by the time I was done. Here you see me kind of taping the edges down of that washi tape because it was peeling itself back up. And then I flipped back to my monthly page and realized that I didn't have like the big lettered week numbers on there like I had for my previous weeks. But I also didn't have my pen with me that I used for that, like for those numbers. And I just decided that I would do that at a later time. And I have done it. I just did it off camera. The last thing that I'm going to do on this setup is I'm going to take some more of that triangle washi tape And I'm going to place just a little rip of that washi tape down at the bottom of each of my weeklies as they go through the month of May. And then I will pull out my inked up stamp, the one that I do have available in my Etsy shop. And I'm going to stamp out with my Studio Calico Inky Black ink. I'm going to stamp out this week's pen. And I'm stamping that just in this side column to the left. That way, because I have been keeping track of my pens, that way I won't have to stamp this out at the beginning of every week. It will already be done for me. It has been something that I randomly started doing in like April, maybe the end of March. And I've really been enjoying writing down the name of the pen and the color ink if I'm using a fountain pen, or even just if I'm using a specific regular pen. I've really been enjoying writing that into this column. That way, whenever I look back at this journal, I can kind of see what I was writing with, and you can kind of see what pen I am currently obsessing over because the name will show up more consistently for a period of time. And being that I am a person who does like hyperfixate on like writing utensils and food and like all those kinds of things, I think it'll be really interesting to watch this change and morph over time. I am kind of just flipping now back through all of the pages that I have completed. I would love to know your thoughts on this setup down in the comments below. And that's pretty much all I have for today. Thank you so much for joining me today. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day, and I hope to see you in my next video. Bye.